Alright, so that is an E shape there. Alright, here is your E shape. You've got down here, you've got the top of an S3S, and then you go into an S2L, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7R. Then you start the S3S again, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got to warp this over here and then finish up your S3S up there. Again, top of the S3S, top of the S3S. But you have to know that this is the E shape, okay? It gives it the characteristic shape. So there's reinforcement there. It's not just patterns that you put through the warp, because once you put them through the warp, all of a sudden you recognize the shape and you're home free. You're home free. Okay? So you could even start this pattern from any other pattern, from any other string rather. If I started this 3 here, from the 3 here, right, it would go, I'd be essentially playing the Phrygian from the 3. And I just want to explain this. I know it gets a little complicated, but so we go. So we started with a C shape, which is the Phrygian is the C-shaped cage, and we went through the warp and it became an E. All right, and that's partly evident from the rendering chart, which is right here. All right, we started with a C shape from what? It became an E, so it was from the second string, okay, and it became an E. This is the rendering chart. Let's see, C shape from the second string became an E. Let's see, we started it there, yes. And there's our C shape from the second string. All right, so just trying to make sure that was. So we also have the longer pattern that can get warped. Now what happens when the longer pattern gets warped? So we start on, now we're going to make pretend that we have a fret nut here. All right, I guess we'll do it with a line. Now we'll make pretend we got a fret nut there. We can't do the shorter pattern, the 7R, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't get this stuff. This is not available. So we're going to do this longer pattern here. All right, and these patterns are going to be the top part of an S3XL, the top 2/3 there. Then we'll just play for a moment. This is an S3S. Notice this is similar to an S3S, except we left the 4 tab off. Okay? So that's pretty much an S3S. So there would be the top sticking out. Then we go into an S3L. All right? 3, 4, 5. But for some reason we don't go into. Now what are we doing? It's kind. This is new. This is new. So what are we doing here? We got a 7R2, which is the top of an S3L. 3, 4, 5 is the bottom of an S3S. Oh yeah, then we have to go into the first 2 members of an S3XL. Okay. This being the bottom of an S3S. All right. See this 3, 4, 5. Then it warps. Okay, so let's look up here and see what's happening. 3, 4. Here's where I got confused. 3, 4, 5, and then what's on top of that? An S3L right there. Okay, but since the warp brings these guys over, they're now available to be used as a pattern. So we can do that. It's our choice to use them like that because it's warped over the top of our S2L here. Here's the S2L. Okay. So we start the big pattern over here. We've got this guy, right, most of it underneath. All right. Oh, sorry. Not most of it underneath. We've got the top 2/3 of that pattern here. Then we've got this S3S embedded in there a little bit, and when the top sticks out, so we play that, because when we see the 5/6, that locks us into the second half of the S3S as we're ascending. Then we go to the S2L, and there's your perfect S2L, and you would play it theoretically, but when it warps, guess what? You got to go 6, 7R way up here, when you could just, we want to exploit open strings when using large patterns. So we're going to take that open string over there. Okay, so it goes. Then we go. Okay, there's a repeat note there. Da, 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 da. So it's your choice. I didn't know what to do when I made this pattern. Here's your top part. All right, so let's put the guitar down. When I made this chart, I knew that we were going to have that ambiguity there. It's kind of a your choice situation. Hey, it's your choice whether you want to follow the S3S, excuse me, the S2L up here. So it'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then root would be there. You can almost see it here in the D shapes. It's the same notes because they're interleaving. So it'd be 3, 4, 5. You want to take it up that high, or if you want to totally just exploit open strings and stick in this cage, then you're dealing with a partial element. That partial element, okay, is pretty much this 3, 4. Because you want this open 5 here, right? You want to get into that pattern. So you don't want to go chasing after this guy. And so you're left with this 2, 3, 4 here. Now 2, 3, 4, in actuality, 2, 3, 4 isn't a bad idea. Okay, because that's the bottom of an S3S. So what happened there? But then we're left with a partial element down here. So we did our first 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if we want to lock into the 5, 6 into the 7R2, this is going to double out, and we're left with a partial 3, 4 there. All right, so you have to decide. You have to decide how you're doing it. That's why it's a problem. It's a problem to play on the bar. And the bars are drawn here. These bars are drawn because this one over here is for the Locrian. The Locrian is over here. Okay, because I couldn't fit it after the Aeolian, but you'll see there's overlap. 7R there, 7R there. The Locrian would be right where I am. Okay, and so the 7 is for the Locrian. The Locrian bars. If you wanted to play basically the Locrian of an F, because the R would have to be an F, because this would have to, if this was a fret nut, then this would have to be the E. So it would be the half diminished version of E. All right, so it'd be played something like this. I should have stopped on the 7, right? That's supposedly the Locrian of F, 2 octaves. So you have that decision to make. that eventually it came